Hi, this is Kaylee again with my fourth audio recording for my term project. And in this recording, we're going to focus on childhood development. Overall, the internet has offered positive effects on childhood development. But before we dive deeper into what those positive effects have been, let's take a look at an article by Johnson from 2010 that explores the presence of an ecological techno subsystem. And I'll explain what that means with a helpful diagram that was located within the article. In the year 1979, Brofenheimer came up with a systems theory, an ecological systems theory, that had to do with child development. Basically, this whole mess you're looking at in this diagram is the surrounding influences surrounding a child throughout their development. In the center circle is the child, and surrounding them is the microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and chronosystem. You can see their definitions on the diagram as well. But basically, this scientist was trying to get at the fact that there are many bidirectional influences surrounding a child that have an important part in development. And prior to this theory, a lot of theories had been a lot more simple and hadn't really gotten at the complexity that is the true nature of development. So what we're specifically talking about here is the ecological techno subsystem, which you can see in the diagram, which is a dimension of the microsystem. This was found by Johnson and Pupalampu in 2008 through a study. And basically, this is just updating the previous model to include the modern society in which children live. Many studies were conducted, including cognitive and personality tests, and they found that this techno subsystem does exist. Findings from this study are extremely important due to the fact that it proved that childhood internet use occurs in 3 different contexts: at home, at school, and within the community. And each of those 3 separate contexts are really important in understanding how a child could develop and understanding how to use the internet in an important and vital way to shape your child's development in a positive manner. Prior to this research, this techno subsystem has not really been considered at all in childhood development. And that means for future research that this techno subsystem does need to be considered in order to understand a full, accurate picture of what it's like to develop as a child in America today. Just how powerful the effects are of the internet in a positive way on childhood development is illustrated in Becker's exploring of the digital divide. The digital divide is a term to use for children who are growing up without internet access or proper internet access, compared to children that are growing up with that. This research found that children without internet access are going to be left cognitively and socially disadvantaged. This disadvantage can be particularly exaggerated and negative when there are periods of rapid development throughout childhood, where the internet can serve to stimulate and maximize cognitive and social development. And when it's lacking, there are consequences that are observed. While the digital divide doesn't really apply to physical development, having the internet as an influence throughout childhood does actually help further physical development. It helps further muscle development and motor control skills that would also improve a child's hand-eye coordination and fine motor skills with keyboard and mouse usage. In the lecture video I have previously mentioned from Professor Gershenbacher, she mentioned 2 really important research findings surrounding social development in the internet. The first of which is that grade school children who spent more time surfing the internet, surfing the web, reported feeling less lonely. The second important finding was that children of all ages who are growing up, who are playing pro-social video games, are more likely to empathize in real life. Now, both of these findings aren't widely reported on, and I would never have known them unless I would have taken this class. Many studies have also shown that socially anxious children actually prefer to communicate online in either chat rooms, either through instant message, or through email. And this can be important for promoting children who even are socially anxious to at least practice some type of communication so they can build up the skills to one day hopefully overcome their anxiety. Countless studies have focused on the positive impacts that the internet has had on child cognitive development in several areas, including comprehension, critical thinking, concentration, logical problem solving, memory, and spatial skills. Also, children who use the internet see an improvement in their language and literacy development. Also, they see gains in their nonverbal and verbal skills. Also, the internet has been shown from many studies to help at-risk children develop. For example, a study by Jackson et al. In 2006 provided low-income children with home-based internet access and continuously recorded time online. The findings from the study indicated that the children who used the internet more had higher scores on standardized tests and reading achievement scores on an average of 6 months, 1 year, and 16 months later than children who use the internet less. These findings are really significant because these children are already at risk, and if they are going to be further marginalized by this digital divide, then this society's problems are only going to be perpetuated and exacerbated, and this is an issue that needs to be addressed. And studies like this with important findings really need to be reported on more so the average American citizen can understand and learn about these issues. The internet and technology isn't going away anytime soon, and America's society really needs to learn that overall it has had a positive impact on the way in which America's children develop, and that's a great thing. So here are the references I used for this recording. Thanks for listening,